15th century, Portugal was the greatest maritime power on Earth. Its explorers mapped the world. Today, it is one of Europe's most overlooked destinations, and the smartest travelers have figured that out. 300 days of sunshine a year, medieval castles, the best custard tarts you will ever eat, and prices that make France and Italy look embarrassing. In this guide, we cover the best cities, unmissable experiences, food and wine, getting around, when to go, and your complete budget breakdown. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to plan your perfect Portugal trip. Let's go. Start in Lisbon. Always start in Lisbon. Portugal's capital is one of the most beautiful cities in Europe, built across 7 hills above the Tagus River, with views that stop you mid-sentence. The Alfama district is the soul of the city. Narrow cobblestone streets, colorful tiled buildings, and Fado music drifting from open doorways at night. Ride tram 28 through the old neighborhoods. Keep your phone in a front pocket. It is a pickpocket hotspot. Visit the Belém Tower and the Geronimos Monastery. Eat a pastel de nata, still warm, from the original Pastéis de Belém bakery. Lisbon also has a world-class food scene, a thriving nightlife, and a creative energy that has made it one of Europe's most exciting cities of the last decade. Give it at least 3 days. Most people wish they had given it more. Just under 3 hours north by train, Porto is Lisbon's cooler, grittier, more soulful sibling. The Ribeira district, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, lines the Douro River with colorful buildings, wine bars, and restaurants that spill onto the waterfront. The Livraria Lello bookshop, one of the most beautiful in the world, is here. So is the São Bento train station, covered floor to ceiling in 20,000 hand-painted azulejo tiles. And Porto is where port wine was born. Cross the Dom Luís Bridge to the Vila Nova de Gaia cellars, where every major port wine house offers tastings above the river. Porto rewards slow exploration. Give it 2 to 3 days minimum. Inland from Lisbon, the Alentejo is the Portugal most visitors never see and the one most worth finding. Rolling cork forests, whitewashed hilltop villages. Évora, city with a Roman temple, medieval cathedral. Chapel built entirely from the bones and skulls of 5,000 people. The Alentejo is also one of Europe's fastest rising wine regions, bold, earthy reds at prices that should not be legal. And on its western edge, the Costa Vicentina wild, undeveloped Atlantic coastline with world-class surf and almost no tourists. If you have a car and an extra 2 days, this is where to spend them. In the south, the Algarve is Portugal's coastline at its most dramatic. Golden limestone cliffs, hidden sea caves, turquoise water, and beaches that regularly top European awards. Lagos is the best-based Praia Dona Ana, and the sea caves at Ponta da Piedade are within minutes of the town center. Ponta da Piedade, at low tide, golden rock arches framing emerald water below, is one of the most photographed spots in Europe for a reason. And 2 kilometers past Sagres, Cabo de São Vicente, the actual southwestern tip of continental Europe. 70-meter cliffs drop into the Atlantic beside an ancient lighthouse, the same headland from which Henry the Navigator sent his ships to map the world. About 40 minutes from Lisbon by train, Sintra is one of the most extraordinary places in all of Europe. Fairy tale palaces built into forested hillsides, the Pina Palace, bright yellow and red, rising above the clouds, the Quinta de Regalera with its mysterious initiation, well spiraling deep underground. UNESCO called the entire cultural landscape of Sintra a World Heritage Site, and standing inside it, go early, go on a weekday, summer crowds, here are real. East of Porto, the Douro Valley is one of the most beautiful wine regions on earth. Terraced vineyards climb steep hillsides above the Douro River for as far as you can see. Every curve of the valley reveals a new view more dramatic than the last. The best way to experience it is Azores is a river cruise from Porto, drifting through the valley with a glass of port in hand, watching the landscape unfold around every bend. This is slow travel at its finest. Fado is Portugal's soul music. Mournful, beautiful, and unlike anything else in the world. In the Alfama district, small Fado restaurants called tascas host live performances over dinner most nights. The music tells stories of longing, love, and loss. Even without understanding the lyrics, the emotion is impossible to miss. One evening of live Fado is one of those travel experiences you remember for the rest of your life. And if you want somewhere that feels nothing like mainland Europe, Portugal has an answer for that too. 9 volcanic islands out in the Atlantic, crater lakes, hot springs, whale watching, and a landscape that looks more like Iceland than southern Europe. São Miguel and its twin crater lakes of Sete Cidades are unlike anything else in Europe. The Azores reward adventurous travelers with experiences that feel genuinely off the beaten path. Portuguese food is honest, generous, deeply satisfying, and one of the great underrated cuisines of Europe. Pastel de nata is Portugal's gift to the world, a flaky pastry shell filled with warm, creamy custard dusted with cinnamon. Eat at least one every single day. You will not regret it. Step further into the food culture and you hit bacalhau, salt cod, and the Portuguese have been cooking it for 500 years. Legend says there are 365 different bacalhau recipes, one for every day of the year. Bacalhau com natas, baked with cream and potato, is the one to try first. Head north to Porto and the food gets serious. Francesinha is the city's answer to a sandwich. Layers of meat covered in melted cheese and a rich tomato and beer sauce. It is enormous, indulgent, and completely worth it. In summer, everything simplifies. Grilled sardines on a restaurant terrace with bread and a glass of vinho verde. That is summer in Portugal on a plate. Wine. Portugal's wine scene is world-class and still underpriced compared to France and Italy. Vinho Verde is light and sparkling. Douro Reds are bold. Alentejo wines are rich and earthy. And port served chilled in Porto is the perfect end to any meal. At a local tasca, a full dinner with wine rarely costs more than $25, $22, $27 per person. Portugal is a small country, roughly the size of Indiana, and getting around is straightforward. Lisbon to Porto by train is one of Europe's great rail journeys. The Alpha Pendular takes just under 3 hours, runs multiple times daily, and costs as little as $25 booked in advance. Always take the train over the bus for this route. Lisbon to the Algarve by train takes around 3 hours to Faro. Budget travelers, the Rede Expresso's bus network is cheaper and reaches Évora and the Alentejo, where trains don't go. Renting a car is the best way to explore the Douro Valley, the Alentejo, and the smaller Algarve towns. Roads are good, driving is easy, and parking outside city centers is affordable. Within Lisbon, the metro is efficient and cheap. Trams are iconic but slow. Uber works well and is inexpensive by European standards. Within Porto, most of the highlights are walkable. The metro connects the airport to the city center in 30 minutes. Portugal is one of the easiest European countries to navigate independently, even for first-time visitors. Portugal has some of the best weather in Europe, so and the season you pick changes the trip significantly. Spring, March to May is the best time to visit. Warm but not hot. Far fewer tourists, lower prices, and the countryside is vivid green and full of wildflowers. This is the sweet spot. Summer, June to September is peak season. Algarve beaches are at their best, but prices spike and popular spots get crowded. Warning, July and August in Lisbon bring major music festivals that push hotel prices up sharply. Book months in advance or plan around them. Autumn, September to October, is the second best window. Warm temperatures, thinning crowds, and wine harvest season make the Douro Valley especially magical. Winter, November to February, is mild. Lisbon rarely drops below 10 degrees Celsius. Prices are lowest, tourists almost disappear, and the cities feel genuinely local. Not ideal for beaches, but perfect for culture. Portugal is the most affordable destination in Western Europe. Remarkable value compared to France and Italy. Factor in the tourist tax up front. Most cities charge a taxa turística of €24 per person per night, capped at 7 nights. Budget traveler, 55, 75-day hostel or budget guest house, $20, $35 meals at local restaurants and markets, $15.25 metro, buses and occasional Uber, 5, 10 entry fees and activities, 10 to 15. At this budget, you experience Portugal properly, not just survive it. I mean, at mid-range, $120, $180 a day, boutique hotel or well-rated apartment, $60, $100 mix of good restaurants and local Tasca dining, $30 to $50 transport, including some car rental days, $15 to $20 wine tastings and experiences, $20, $30 Portugal at mid-range feels genuinely luxurious. Splurge $250, $400 per day, design hotels, wine estate stays, pousadas, $150, $250 fine dining, chefs, tasting menus, wine pairings, $60, $100 private tours, helicopter transfers, yacht trips, $60, $100. Portugal's luxury offering punches well above its price point. So, should you visit Portugal in 2026? Here is the honest answer. Portugal still feels like it has not been fully discovered yet. For a country this beautiful, this affordable, and this close to the rest of Europe, that is extraordinary and it will not last. Beach lovers, city explorers, food and wine travelers, history seekers, adventure travelers, Portugal has something genuinely extraordinary for each of them, from the Algarve coast to the Azores and Madeira beyond. It is affordable, safe, beautiful, and welcoming. Go in 2026 before everyone else figures that out. If this guide helped you plan your Portugal trip, hit subscribe. Next week, we are covering Spain, and the comparison with Portugal might surprise you. Drop a comment below. Which part of Portugal are you most excited to visit? And if you are still deciding between Europe and Asia, our Vietnam and Southeast Asia guides are linked on screen now. See you in the next one.